Hey guys, it's Maddie, and today I'm going to be doing a foundation routine slash brow routine. Basically, it's just a talk through tutorial of this face. My go-to glam foundation routine, and the reason I put the brow part of it in this routine is because I normally do my brows halfway through and I don't go all out for my brows. I just kind of do something really simple. This isn't the same every day. I also don't wear makeup every single day. This basically is just for when I go out or when I have a super glam look, because sometimes I'll use a lighter foundation look, but this look today was for my go-to glam foundation routine. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling and let's get on with the video. The first thing I use is the Badescu Rose Water Facial Spray, if I'm saying that right. I just spray this on my entire face. And then breathe it in, yay. And the next thing I do is I take some oil absorbing sheets and just use them to make sure there's no oil on my face. Pretty self-explanatory. So next step is primer. It really depends on the day, depends on how my skin's doing, and it also depends on how long I want my makeup to be on. That depends on what primer I use. Sometimes I use the Milk Makeup Blur Stick. That's normally on days where I'm like not gonna be wearing makeup very long, because like it's good, but I don't necessarily use it as a primer. I normally use it as like a base. So I'm not gonna use that today. I'm going to be using a mix between two primers, the Benefit Professionals and the NYX Hydra Touch primer. Mainly, I put the NYX Hydra Touch primer on my forehead because my forehead gets super dry. And basically the rest of my face I put Professionals on because I feel like that's the best way it works for me, if that makes sense. Next is color correcting. So I use the NYX Dark Circle color corrector. It's like a peach colored under eye concealer, and I just put this basically under my eyes, and then I blend it out with a fluffy brush. Okay, and the next thing I do is I just take my beauty blender and like go over that just to make sure it's all blended in seamlessly. Okay, so next step is my foundation. Once again, it depends on my mood, where I'm going, what I'm doing for my foundation, but lately, every single day, I mean, this is my like everyday foundation routine. So lately, for like a full coverage look, I use the NYX Total Drop foundation, and I'm in the shade Porcelain. I just directly put the drops on my face, and then I use Artiste brush to blend it out. And I'm running out of this, which is not good. So then I just go in and blend it out with my Artiste brush. So then once again, I go back in with my beauty blender just to fully blend it out completely, because the brush still leaves a little bit of some streakiness, so I just go in with my beauty blender to blend out the rest of my face. Okay, so next step is concealer, and I use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I'm in the shade Fair Neutral. And I just apply that under my eyes, on my chin, on my forehead, and down on the bridge of my nose just to highlight my face. Kind of don't even really use this as a concealer except for under my eyes, and then I just highlight the rest of my face. And then I blend it out with my beauty blender. So now I go in and bake, and I bake with the RCMA No Color Powder, and I use a dry beauty blender, and I basically just bake all the areas I highlighted my face with concealer. Now, while my face is baking, I go in and set the rest of my face with powder where I didn't bake, so that's just like right here and on my cheeks. And I use a big fluffy brush for that, and the NYX #No Filter powder, and I'm also in the shade Porcelain. now while the rest of my face is baking, that's when I go and do my brows. So the first thing I use is the Goof Proof Brow Pencil by Benefit, and I just brush out my brows and I basically underline underneath them. It depends on the day. I do my brows a little bit differently. Lately I've been just filling in my brows with like just the Goof Proof pencil, but when I go all out in glam, this is normally what I do. The next product I use is the Brow product, also from Benefit, and I just fill in my eyebrows with this product. I don't really know how to explain it, but I do it and it works. I'm not the best at like explaining how I do my brows. I just kind of do it. Inner half of my brow, I just kind of take any excess product left on the brush. I just kind of like flick it upwards. Okay, so once I'm done that, I go back in with the Goof Proof pencil and I just take the spoolie and I brush out my brows. So once I'm done my brows, I take that big fluffy brush and then I just brush away all of my bake. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is my blush, highlight, and contour. Now that also varies per the look I'm doing. This is I basically always keep it the same, but sometimes I change up my highlight, or sometimes I make my contour a little more sharp. Like today I'm just gonna be basically bronzing out my face. Sometimes I'll change up my blush, sometimes I'll change up my highlighter, depends on my mood. Lately this has been my go-to system. So for blush, I use Benefit's Coralista Blush, and I just kind of very lightly apply that to my cheekbones. And I just apply this just to give some color to my face. I don't necessarily love blush. I lightly apply this just to kind of bring some color to my face because I'm paler than a ghost. For my bronzer, I normally basically always use Hoola by Benefit, and I just apply that to the hollows of my cheek, right under my cheekbone, on my forehead, and sometimes down the side of my nose. It really depends. For the highlight, my favorite part, I'm going to be using the NYX Away We Glow liquid highlighter, and this is in the shade Moon Glow, and I put this right above my cheekbones, and then I blend it out with my finger, and then I also go back in and blend it with a beauty blender. Highlighter I'm going to be using today, which is what I've been using pretty much every day lately, is the Jeffree Star Skin Frost in Eclipse. And I just use a fan brush to apply that to my cheekbones. And I mean, come on, it looks so good. Am I right, ladies? So I just apply this to the tip of my nose and a little bit on the bridge of my nose. And then I apply a little bit on the top of my brows. And then I do apply a little bit on my chin and on my Cupid's bow. Yeah, that's basically all I do for my foundation routine, and then I go straight into my eyes. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you know when I post. I do post every single Monday. And also make sure to leave a comment down below on what other videos you guys want me to film. I will see you guys next time. Bye!